I thought
and,
you
like,
were so spoiled when I was a kid.
oh really?
It was so annoying.
And I made so much money. So
What did you do with that money? So what's your most wasted money purchase you ever made?
No, I definitely judge you all the time because you spend so willy-nilly.
They overcharged me for the grapes. I'm going to the manager.
Yeah, that's it. And she's like, oh my God, just
I was
buy
like,
it.
why
You're
do
gonna
you
wear.
even work? What's the point? I don't buy expensive clothes.
Yeah.
I don't. Hey guys, welcome back to Bake the Podcast. Today I'm excited, but I'm also nervous because I have my little sister in the studio with us and we discuss our generational money habits. So did you know your relationship with money is not just what you earn, it's kind of set up in your DNA. So we're going to discuss our childhood and how we became the spender and saver that we are. I hope you enjoy this episode. Okay, B, today we're talking about generational success codes, but specifically our generational money personalities, which are so different.
So different.
So I'm 6 years older than you, just for context. So you are like a zillennial. I just learned that word today.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I'm more of a millennial than a
I feel
zillennial.
I feel like you're more. But when it comes to money, maybe not, right?
Maybe not, yeah.
Because we did grow up differently in different eras, and even though we had the same parents, same household, same values essentially,
They were in different stages of their lives, I think, when we came into the picture. When you came to the picture versus when I came.
so I feel like that's kind of written the code of how we approach wealth, money, and the whole concept of like financial planning and management. And what's really cool is that you can, if you're a Momentum client, you can get a financial advisor to do our whole assessment, which I've
that
planned
is
for
cool.
us. After this episode, we're going to do it, and I encourage other people to do it as well. So we'll set up a whole assessment where we can discuss in depth why we are the way we are.
I actually need that.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So what I wanted to do is before we do the assessment, just discuss, just ad hoc discussion on what we feel our attitudes to money is.
Yeah.
And like our money personalities, and kind of decode that for ourselves. So we're going into the assessment with kind of our eyes wide open. And then I'm quite intrigued to see what
The results are.
Yes, what he says about you and what he says about me in terms of like our propensity to take risks, our propensity to save, and all of that kind of thing.
I think from the bat, I'm more of a saver. And you definitely a spender.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll always be like, just spend it, just swipe the card. And I'm like, no,
money
I
comes
can't."
back.
Yeah. Money grows on trees. It's okay.
It actually does though. It's paper jokes. It's digital. It's in the cloud.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your earliest memory of money in our household, would you say?
I'm laughing because
Why?
my first memory is I used to go to the parade. So if you live in Cape Town, you know the Grand Parade, and there's lots of like sellers and things. And then I used to go with my nanny, Mama Gaga at the time, and we used to go in the taxi because that's how you get to the parade. And they used to go Cape Town, Mobler, Wynberg, and then like speak on the taxi. And they used to go $2 bag, $2 bag, and sell,
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
and sell things. So then I was like, this is brilliant. They're selling things and they're getting R2. I think I was like 5 or I don't know.
No, you weren't. You were maybe 4.
Oh, well, you will remember.
You went to school.
I came home and I took everyone's clothes, so like your clothes, Abe's clothes, mommy, daddy's, and I put it in pick and pay packets, plastic packets, and then I tied the knots and I set up a little stall now. And I said, $2 bag, $2 bag.
It was so annoying because you wouldn't give our clothes back unless we paid you. And we had like a long day at school because mom and dad worked. So we only came home at like 6 p.m.
But I was brilliant because I wouldn't tell them what's in the bag. So
you
then,
just bought like a surprise lucky packet.
just a lucky packet. So if you wanted that top, you were going to get to give me the R2 because you needed to find it.
So annoying.
And I made so much money. So
what did you do with that money?
I just to collect it. I like looking at money. I don't know why. This physical obsession of like building a pile of money. And I'm still like that. Like I like looking at my bank account.
Okay. And just
seeing
checking how much you have.
Yeah, so I find it really hard to save money. I mean, not to save money, to spend money because I hate seeing my bank account go
decrease
down. So I think from a young age, I've just like visualizing money.
You were so annoying with that because I used to get so pissed off because I'm like, why am I buying my own stuff? Like, this is stealing actually.
Yeah.
Like, this is theft. So I don't know what my earliest memory of money is in our household specifically, but the difference in our upbringing is that I grew up more with our grandparents.
Yeah.
Because of the stage of life our parents were in where they couldn't afford maybe like we did have a nanny, but they couldn't afford to like have me stay with her,
I
or
also
maybe they
think
didn't
it's
trust.
interest levels, because I remember you weren't really interested in the money conversation. So
But I wonder if I could pull it back to then growing up with grandparents and like they didn't really talk about money ever. And then Opa used to really spoil us with money, like give us money whenever, and
Yes.
like it like
there was like an abundance.
there was an
almost.
abundance mindset. And then also because we had so many uncles and aunts who like took care of us at our grandparents' house, we went to the shop, like the corner shop, a lot. And like I remember Uncle Moses used to take us to the corner shop and we could like get whatever we wanted. I mean, it wasn't expensive stuff, but it was just like there was
Like spookies.
it was like
something.
spookies and like like the those like, what do they call them? Those sweets, the toffees and whatever.
yes.
So we got like sweets and chips whenever we wanted, and they just walked me to the shop, and I was very like spoiled, I guess, by my uncles, or our uncles. So I feel like I had this different approach because I received a lot of like spoiling. I want to say it wasn't expensive stuff, just candy, but I mean. That was my introduction of money. It's like, oh, you can go to the shop and buy whatever you want.
Yeah. It's like an endless supply.
Yes, I never saw like
Budgeting or
no, and to be fair, the parents didn't really talk about that in front of me at the same stage as maybe you were privy to those conversations.
Agreed. I think also, so because you mentioned we are 5-6 years apart, when I came to the picture, when I could understand things, Aisha was maybe hanging out with friends or but older. So I would spend a lot of time with my parents and with my mom. And at that time, the business was also maybe doing really well. So I grew up at the workshop, being around stock takes and money and
like
budgets.
for context, our parents are entrepreneurs and they had their own business.
Yeah.
And when I was growing up, I wasn't really there for like the grassroots era of the business. We were mostly with the grandparents and uncles and aunts. And then obviously when we moved closer to town, because that's where the business was, that's when you were kind
I
of
was born.
Yeah. So then you grew up in the workshop, like you say, where your nursery was in the business. You were there every day.
Very Montessori education. I was very hands-on.
Very Montessori. Whereas my education was like Waldorf. Be creative and fly free. So we had different sort of, in a way, we almost had different parents because
100%.
your parents were like our parents, and then the influence of like your nanny and like drivers and stuff. And then I had the influence of like our grandparents and uncles and aunts.
Yes.
Who are more like, maybe they were more comfortable spending money. And I think when we got to a stage of the parents having money and like sending us from government school to private school, then I was like privy to those conversations of like money. But I think embedded in me as a child was like, oh, well, money's for buying stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, for me, so it's crazy because I was in the workshop, like I said, I fell in love with trading. So I like the concept of making money and then obviously keeping it. Whereas, like you said, you like the concept of spending money.
Did you go to the bank with mommy also?
Yes, we used to do the safety deposits, and then also mom used to do accounting. My favorite was to count money, and so
Such an accountant.
I used to count and I used to do the cash app
accountant,
sheets.
everyone.
yeah, I'm a CA by profession, but so I would do the cash app sheets, and then like so mommy would check it, or the managers of the stores would drop it off, and then I would be the final check. And that was my responsibility, and then we'd go to the bank.
Do you know what mommy used to do with me when we went to the bank?
What?
You're going to die. Actually, this makes so much sense. I'm discovering this live. Mommy used to take me to the bank on a Friday. It was the best day ever.
You'd get like sweets.
Because I get lemon meringue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're so
We'd
predictable.
go for tea. We would go for tea at the, she'd go to Standard Bank, and we would go, there was a cafe outside there, and they made the best lemon meringue, and that's my flavors.
You're the same.
I'm literally that person. My life revolves around cake and tea.
Yeah.
And mommy used to, that's what I remember. Like, so my view of money is like money gets to buy me sugar.
Yeah, and my favorite was watching the money counter. So the old school banks, like when you deposit a wad of cash, they'd be like in the money counter. And I used to love that. I always wanted one. And I was like, that was my dream if I could
Did you
have
want
one
to
of
work
those.
in a bank when you were a kid?
Yes,
Probably, yeah.
because I could count the money. I was like, this is so exciting.
So predictable. Did you feel rich or poor as a child?
Oh, always poor because
Really?
because
Damn, girl.
it was very much about we are budgeting. So
Yeah.
I would go grocery shopping and everything was about we need to budget.
How old were you
this
in
week.
2008?
Yo, when was that? 2020, 15, 17 years ago. I was 12.
Okay, that kind of makes sense because so we had the 2008 recession, and I remember the parents starting to budget around then because the business was like not struggling, but it was
It's just tighten your belt.
you had to tighten up. And I remember that's when we started budgeting, but I was like 17.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really around for, I thought we were rich. I was actually embarrassed.
No,
about
but
that.
remember I went to a private school from grade 2 and all my friends were like, we're going to the south of France and skiing in
yeah, that's
Colorado.
true.
And I don't know what these crazy things that they were doing. I'm like, yo, we're not even going to the garden with this year. Like, I'm working in the
My
tire
mom
shop.
said we can't go to Hermanus.
But yeah, so like I had to work in the holidays and sell tires.
So
and things,
conversely,
you know.
I went to government school all the way till high school, and then the parents obviously sent me to private school. But I was rich in my friendship group because we went to Hermanus and like the garden
Yeah,
route
so you did
and,
different.
and like we had our own car, which was considered rich. I had a new Carrymore every year. Like mom bought me a new bag, and that was considered rich at my
yeah.
school. Whereas like for you, I guess you were like my friends have like, you know.
Yeah, but I thought it was cool. So I'd be like, no, we went to Oudtshoorn on a cycling trip and I found this cardigan at Mr. Price on sale for 10 rand.
I thought
and
you
like,
were so spoiled when I was a kid.
Oh, really? Maybe
Yeah.
spoiled in love and affection.
No, I literally thought you were spoiled because
Oh.
you got a Barbie doll whenever you wanted one.
Oh, really?
I got one on my birthday.
Oh, hectic.
So I was like, this chick.
Maybe I was spoiled. And also, yeah, I don't know, looking back, I was like, wow, we actually, our parents did so well for themselves.
100%.
Yeah, but now in the moment, it didn't always feel like that because I didn't say yes to everything. It
I
was you had
guess,
to
yeah.
work for it.
Your surroundings and like maybe not being able to travel overseas for you was like considered like,
And
a
not being able to
downgrade.
buy expensive things.
Or like designer bags.
yeah, or
whatever.
even like Woolies clothes was like, okay, you're getting one jacket for the season. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you get like a few things.
Whereas
for
your
surprise.
friends were maybe getting whenever they
yeah,
wanted.
and they were buying
Okay.
like Bershka overseas and all these like fancy things.
Yeah. What would you say is like a money habit that you trace back directly to the parents that you learned from them?
Yo, that's a hard one. I would think learning how to price check. I think I'm very good at
Yeah,
that.
you are.
So I would be able to see like where the toilet paper is cheaper, and then I'll go there for the cheaper toilet paper, or
Yeah.
buying on sale. And hate buying
And you
full
always
price.
check
I think
your
it's a
slips.
conspiracy. Oh yeah. Oh, but that I learned from my sister-in-law, Rahima. Shout out.
Oh, did you? I thought you learned that from mom because you always check your slips and then
No.
you'll always be like, they overcharged me for the grapes. I'm going to the manager.
Yeah, this is actually a hot tip for everyone. Always check your slips and know the policy of where you shop. So, for example, the policy is if they get the price wrong, up or down, you can get the item for free and your money back. No questions asked. And if they argue with you, say, excuse me, what's your policy? And then they'll say, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, and then give it to you. So,
Okay, you
hot
heard it
tip.
here first.
Yeah, always check your
Check
slips.
your slips. Well, you taught me to check my slips. I think my money habit that I trace back to the parents is that you're going to hate this. I'm really laughing. But like, I remember them always saying like, oh, well, dad would always be like, I work really hard. I deserve this.
Yes. No,
So
that is
he's
true.
very much like,
Put meat in the food.
yeah, it's like put more meat in the food. I
work
worked hard
hard.
for this meat. So like I also approach that like life in that way. In that
Yeah,
I'm like
you do.
I deserve a treat.
Yeah.
So I'm like treat yourself. That's the one that I've learned. And then also I think from a cash flow perspective, like managing your household like a business.
Yes,
And
vital.
like the money in versus money out. I also learned that from mom and dad. And then I say a lot about like I don't know how to budget, but I actually do know how to budget. If I need to get tighter, I can. It just pains me.
Aisha's budgeting will be kicking me off the Apple Music family plan.
But why am I paying for your Apple Music?
It's 100 rand. And she's like, no, I need to save this
I
month.
saved
I'm
it,
like,
100
oh my
rand.
God, please relax. Maybe you shouldn't buy a
everyone's
croissant
crying.
and a coffee every day.
Well, why should I pay for your people's Apple Music when I can buy myself a croissant? It's a trade-off. I kicked you all off, by the way.
I know, but you
Everyone's
do.
mad.
No warning. At least send a warning
No,
to the
you
next
guys are-
hour you'll be off. So
you
no
guys were
music.
living a good life. I just was like, cut. Yeah, so I can budget. I just don't budget in the same way that you budget, because you'll, like, for example, do like price comparisons.
But I also am a very competitive person, and I love the game like Monopoly. And I like playing games with myself. So I'll have like no spend weeks, or how much money can you save this week? And I'll compete with myself, my bank account. I'll take screenshots, and then I'll do like so
What
this
was
week,
that?
for
I'm not
example.
buying coffee.
Oh yeah,
played?
no, we had no spend October in my house, and then me and Wasim, my husband, we had like a competition, so we'd review who won. At
You
the
would
end of the
actually
month.
hate us. Like in our house, we're like, should I buy this really expensive jersey? Like, yes, you got that amazing job opportunity. You've worked so hard. Buy it for yourself. Okay.
No, I can't go shopping at Woolworths with Aisha. She is so stressful. So I don't buy marinated chicken, because why must I pay extra for marinated chicken? That's crazy. I'll just marinate it myself. Whereas Aisha will buy all the marinated chicken, and that's like triggering for me.
Yeah, I like to buy the pre-cut vegetables, marinated chicken. I don't know why that's like a spoil for you.
Yeah. Whereas I'll look at the price. I'll be like, the price per kilogram of the chicken fillets is way cheaper than the marinated chicken. And then I can just buy the sauce.
So do you feel like
and
you
make it.
learned that from the parents, or?
No, I think it's innate in who I am, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know if I can take it back to the parents. What I will take back to the parents is the fact that I was always privy to money conversations. So the dinner table at night would be like, my dad would come home from work and be like, oh, I did this sale today. It was so cool.
Yeah.
I sold 4 tires
I
for
actually
this
love
amount.
that dad had those conversations with us.
Yes.
So it made me also entrepreneurial, and learn that like if you work hard, you're going to achieve your financial goals or financial freedom.
Yes.
And it also, both of our parents, because they grew up really poor, they made us very aware of how privileged we were
Always.
to have certain things and like choices.
Yes.
I think they made us feel like you're so lucky to have a choice, because they would tell us these stories of like not having the choice of, shoes or food or transport. So I think we were really lucky in that way as well.
I think they also did a good job of fostering that entrepreneurial spirit.
Yes.
So, for example, they would always want us to start the business or sell things. So, I mean, my memory of my first business was in grade 5. I went to a shop called Proto Trading, and I bought this
gosh.
makeup.
I remember this business.
And then I sold the makeup. So I'd buy eyeliner for 10 Rand and sell it to my friends for 100 Rand. And I sold out. Or I'd do my annual stationery drive business, which I'd go to Osmond's, get a 2 Rand exam pad, and then sell it for 10 Rand at school. And obviously my friends never knew what Osmond's was. I was like,
yeah,
in
because
the
your
money.
private school friends didn't know about Osmond's.
So I'd get like the stationery list at the beginning of the year, and then I would do all the shopping and things. Well, mommy would take me. And then, so they would
And
like,
then,
well, on
mommy,
board.
poor
with
mommy
my
never got any
businesses.
petrol money or any payment for driving. And I remember mom like always signing me up for KTV Market Day.
Yes.
Like in
oh my
junior school.
word, Yes.
I was both a stall owner and a performer.
Oh yeah, I showed a dance competition.
I had a dance crew, and I would do hip hop dances. Shout out to my grade 4, 5, 6, 7 dance crew. We were so good, we won nothing. And then we also sold stuff at KTV Market Day, which like encouraged that entrepreneurial spirit. That takes me kind of into money personalities, right? We did touch on the fact that you label me as a spender and I label you as a saver. But would you say you are an investor and a risk taker?
No.
How do you feel in that regard?
100% not. So for me, like having studied finance and accounting, like it's hard for me because this world is so made up and so fickle that I can't, like for me, if I'm going to buy shares or invest in something, I just feel like tomorrow the markets are going to go flat and everything's like boom, like what happened with Steiner, for example.
But do you think that that's
So,
because of your career or, I mean, your studies or your parents?
I think both because like you mentioned, they grew up poor. Mom always had that scarcity mindset. So we always be like, oh, you know what happened to so-and-so? Their business went bust. So we need to now, you guys are supposed to be
remember
mindful.
when they call us around the table and be like,
things
Uncle
are tough.
so-and-so lost their business. and
Yes.
This can happen to us.
Yeah, any day. So
Yeah.
you need to be ready. And that's why we had to get degrees and be equipped if we had to now.
It used to give me anxiety.
Yeah,
actually.
and it still does. So that's why I think I'm so risk averse.
Oh my gosh, I got anxious just thinking about
Yeah,
that
and if
memory.
I see my savings dip below a certain amount, like I start to panic.
So on that note, we're leading into money personalities. So you already labeled me as the spender and you the saver, and I do agree on that. But then when we're coming to investment, are you an investor and risk taker, or do you find that you're more risk averse and less likely to invest?
I'm definitely more risk averse. I think I'm a little bit fearful of investing because it's such a fickle environment. You don't know what's going to happen to your money. Like tomorrow the markets are going to crash and then everything's just gone. So I do get a little bit nervous. And I think you're the same, aren't you? Or are you more risky?
Not actually. I would say that I'm a risk taker. I'm more willing to especially when it comes to my own projects or myself, I'll put the money in and take a risk. And especially with my entrepreneurial endeavors, I'm willing to take a chance and see where it goes. And I think I got that from Dad specifically because he's a risk taker. And with investing, I didn't quite understand investing before, but once I got a little bit of insight into how it works, I started my first investments, my retirement annuity. Then I was like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then obviously I told you recently I started investing with what do you call this? Crypto. Yeah. Crypto. Sorry, I went blank. So I just started with crypto, and it's not so bad. My money's grown in a year, and it's not grown a lot, but I don't feel the pain of it. Whereas maybe if you had to watch the app and see the up and down arrow, you might get
anxious
and just take your money out.
Yeah, I think taking it back to how we were raised, I think because I was with mom a lot, and mama is quite a scarcity mindset growing up with nothing, and now
and
suddenly
she's more
having
risk averse, definitely.
Yeah, having things. I think she'd always make it known nothing's gonna last forever.
Yeah.
So I have that in my mind all the time. So do I really want to risk this? And then because what if I need it tomorrow? If everything goes bust, my husband loses his job, we lose the car, get kicked out of the house, where are we gonna stay? Then my mind just goes spiraling.
Yeah.
I have 2 kids.
Ironically,
feel
also
stressed.
you have a 9-to-5 job.
Yes.
And I'm an entrepreneur, so it actually leans into how differently we view risk as well, which is why I'm excited for us to take that assessment with the financial advisor from Momentum, because I think we really get to the crux of maybe we can meet in the middle somewhere. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to take too much risk, but you also don't want to be completely risk averse.
Exactly.
You want to gain. Do you think you've ever, wow, this is so funny. We are sisters, so this is a funny question. Have you ever judged me for a financial decision I've made?
All the time.
Often. I often judge
we
you
judge
as well.
each other every day.
Literally love to judge each other. I always judge you for not spending your money, and then I bully you into spending.
The reason I bought this jacket, she was just no, just take it. And I was it's 700 rand. And she was oh my God, just buy it.
Why do you even work? What's the point? What do you wear to work? Do you even have a jacket? And then I'm listing all the reasons why she should buy this jacket.
And in my mind, I have to do a cost benefit analysis. I'm okay, I can wear it this way and that way.
Or you go and return stuff that you've bought.
Oh yeah. So it sits in the packet in the room for a week or two, and I let it marinate. I first decide is this worth it or not, and then I'll make the choice.
It's always funny to me how nervous you are to spend, but also specifically to spend on yourself. I think you find it hard.
Yeah, I can spend on
the
Wasim,
boys,
on the boys very easily.
Yeah, exactly. And then do you
I
feel
think
you judge me?
No, I definitely judge you all the time because you spend so willy-nilly. And you'll buy, we went to the shop, what's it called in Close Street? AKJP, that shop.
Yeah.
And she was how stunning is this? And I was this jersey's $14K. Are you
I didn't buy it.
Your age, I'll never buy that. And then then I just couldn't deal with the store because then they were these crystal glasses are made in Nigeria and they're 8,000 rand. I was for a glass.
But I was standing with those glasses.
I just can't relate. So for me,
okay, I like looking at beautiful things.
I know.
I don't buy expensive clothes.
Yeah.
I don't. I
Do.
don't buy expensive clothes.
Oh, I think you do.
I think our idea of expensive is different. I didn't buy that jersey because I can't afford it.
Yeah.
But if I had the money, I would.
Obviously. And then I also I judge you on everyday little things because Aisha won't check prices. So she would just buy things. So I'm you could have just walked 500 meters down the road and you would have gotten
don't do a
something.
comparative shop. I am bad at that. I will say that's true.
And your convenience, you'll pay for convenience any day.
100%. I value convenience. Do you think siblings naturally copy or rebel against each other when it comes to money?
I think both.
Do you know any siblings who are like us that are completely different?
No one's like us. We're iconic.
So unique. Do you know any that are as different as we are? Because we are extremely
different. Yeah. Actually, no.
I feel like most of the siblings I know are similar.
Similar.
So I'm inclined to answer that question as they naturally copy each other. But I wonder, because of our unique dynamic of being raised with like different
Versions of our parents.
Like they were in their 20s with me and in their 30s with you. And then also, the influences in our lives, like, your nanny made a big impact in your formative years, and then with me and the grandparents. So I think we have a unique story, but I'm inclined to say that siblings do naturally copy each other.
I think rebel is a strong word.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like, what are you going to do?
It's a deep word.
Yeah. What are you going to be like, oh, no, I don't want to be like you, so I'm going to now spend all my money and be broke. Like,
if anything, I'm always like, I want to be more like you and save.
Yeah, and I'll be like, oh, I wish I could just spend so freely.
I know, and then I'm like, let's go to the mall.
Yeah, say less.
Let's go into breaking and continuing cycles. What is a generational money belief you inherited that actually serves you today? So we've said like, well, how the different parents are, but what's the one that you think is like drives you today?
Nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
And money is just a tool to give you access to things, but it's not going to last forever. You need to constantly make it and save it, and that's what like my dad would always say. It'd be like, we might have money today, but I must go out there and graft tomorrow so that we can make sure we have money again tomorrow.
What did he used to say? Discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline.
And I feel like that's so important because you can't put your foot off the gas. Like, unfortunately, you got to wake up every day and you got to do it. And that's why I love my 9 to 5 because I love that on the 25th, I'm going to get the SMS going to come in. Yeah. The money's in my account and I can plan. I'm also a planner.
It gives you security.
Security for sure. So I definitely think I've taken that from them. And something that I would actually teach my boys as well, that, everything in life we have to work for.
Yeah.
And mom and daddy has to go to work every day so we can have access to these things.
To the life we have. Yeah, I actually, the exact same. For me, it's like hard work yields results. You put in the effort and you'll get what you put out.
Yes.
And again, nothing lasts forever. I don't rest on the fact that, and sometimes I have that money anxiety.
Yes, yeah.
When I
phone in like midnight, I can't sleep.
It got so bad that a friend of mine was like, I told you, she got upset that I got her a birthday gift. And then I realized that I actually put my money anxiety on other people because everyone's thinking I'm going broke. Meanwhile, I'm just panicked because my savings dipped like by 10K. And I'm like... okay, when maybe other people would not see that as a big jump. So definitely agree with that. And then what's one that you had to unlearn or break away from?
That it's okay to spoil yourself.
Yeah.
So for me, I find it very hard to spoil myself, and that's from witnessing mommy never spoil herself.
Yeah.
My mom lived for us.
Yeah.
So she would always...
Like, what? My mom too, girl.
She's my mommy. So she lived for us and everything was about us. We would have new e-clothes and new this and new that, but she would be the same old thing every single year. She'd never go
to the hairdresser, but we would go.
So I think that's what I'm trying really hard to unlearn, and saying it's okay to spoil myself with things and with time.
Yeah.
That I can step away from, being with my children, spend money on an activity for myself. Like I went today to have my hair done. And I was sitting there and then I tapped the card and I was like, oh, why did Aisha tell me to do this? Like,
I forced her to have hair done.
Yeah. And because my hair always looks crazy. And
your hair doesn't look crazy, by the way.
You always tell me that. You're like, oh, you and your hair looks
I just
crazy.
wish you would go for blow dry now and then. You deserve it. You work
I don't
so hard.
place value on spending money and I have a blow dry at home.
So for me, one that I think I have to unlearn is, I don't know if it's like I inherited like money anxiety. I actually think I do, because I think the parents, there would be times in the business when things were bad and they would be really anxious, and then they would tell us why they were feeling anxious, and then I think I carried that with me now. So if like with, obviously, me and my husband both are like contract workers because I work for myself and so does he. So when he's like not playing cricket, then I start getting anxious because I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to be broke.
Yeah.
And it's the worst part is he has the same anxiety because he grew up poor. So then we just like egg each other on and get very anxious, and then we start like making wild decisions.
That's actually interesting. It's also how your partner then, what's the word?
Like builds on your
Yeah,
existing
or influences
Yeah.
your money
habits.
personality. Because I'm thinking of like Wasim, he makes me more of a risk taker.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? And he also didn't grow up wealthy or anything. I think they grew up comfortably. But what he always tells me is that his dad was always about experiences.
Oh, I love that about him. Yeah.
Pa's the best.
He's taught me that also.
Yeah. So Pa wouldn't be like, let's say, we'd be like, let's go to Sun City and have this amazing holiday because we're going to have
make
these
memories.
forever.
Yeah.
So that's what Wasim's actually taught me and now made me be that person.
Like balances us out a
Yeah.
little bit. And do you think we've broken those financial cycles, like, the anxiety thing I was telling you about and like the lack of being able to spoil yourself? Have we broken that for our kids or are we still figuring it out, do you think?
No, I'm definitely still figuring it out. I
Same.
think, like you always tell me, I need to go see a therapist. So
I'm
still trying to find the
"You
money
need
to do that. Yeah. Daily I get told that. But I think, I definitely don't want to, I am cognizant of my money anxiety and I definitely don't want to put that onto my kids.
Yeah.
So I am also mindful of what I do share around them. But what I do love about our kids' school is that they have something called Cupcake Friday and Tuck Shop Tuesday, which I think they do at other schools too. But where they have like a R5 and then it's the one person brings the treats for the class and that's the seller. And then the customers come and give them the R5. So they learn about the transaction of things. And that's what I hope to teach my child. So I always watch these TikTok videos of like budgeting and your child must pay like R1 to rent or whatever, like, all these things.
That's so cute. Send me that.
And I think it's really great to teach your children then about budgeting and about value. And I think that's what the parents also taught us, that money holds value.
I think for me, I definitely haven't broken financial cycles because Bonnie and I both have that anxiety around money sometimes. And I am trying to not place that anxiety on my kids, but I have actually done it accidentally.
Yeah, I was going to say, like
with my 7-year-old.
Yeah,
and now, so just to share a little story, when I was going through that stage of feeling really anxious because I wasn't getting work and I wasn't sure what my next move was because I'm a freelancer. And I told my son, like, I'm going through this thing. I don't know why I shared it with him. I shouldn't have done it. And then I was like, my goal is to like make a certain amount of money. And then he came up with a financial plan for me.
So cute.
And then he caught me online shopping. Like, I wasn't online, I was scrolling. And he was like, Mommy, don't buy that basket. You have goals. And I was like, oh, shiz. I'm like putting this on my
He
kid.
even told me, he was like, Auntie Bilqees, my mommy has money goals.
But I've also, it's made him very aware of the fact that you can have a financial goal and you can like save. So maybe it's a good thing. I don't know.
And you've taught him that even though you're in the process of saving, you still enjoy nice things.
Yeah.
It's not just say, like, I hate that thing actually of is telling people, stop having the coffee, maybe then you'll be able to afford the house, because the math ain't mathing, firstly. And secondly, why can't you save and also have a little bit of happiness?
There needs to be a balance in
There needs
enjoying
to be.
yourself.
Life's
and saving.
short, like you need to live.
Okay, so let's talk about our success codes and how we define success based on our upbringing. So I feel like our parents defined success as financial freedom. So it was
Definitely.
like, I know Daddy always said like, when we'd be mad at us, he'd like, open the fridge, look at what's in the fridge. I bought all that food because I work hard. And then we'd be like, oh, yes, Dad. And then we knew that having money meant going to the shop and being able to choose anything from the shelves. And like, they very much drove that home, and they drove home like having choices, and having money gives you choice. So you can choose what you want to do with your money.
And gives you access to things.
And in some ways also gives you like currency in terms of like social currency.
100%.
And they definitely highlighted the fact that having money gets you opens doors for you. Even like they say you need money to start a business. It's actually true. Like you can't often get in the door if you don't have that financial backing. But I tend to now in my years, like I don't define success only as financial freedom. I did in the beginning. I define it now as having like definitely the freedom of choice and to choose where I want to place effort. I don't have to chase money nonstop. Like there comes a point for me when I have enough and I can enjoy it, where I feel
Yes.
like our parents, because of their very difficult upbringing, they couldn't enjoy their money because they were constantly chasing it.
The bar kept on raising.
100%. So it wasn't like they could just be like, oh, we finally made it. Let's go on an overseas trip as a family. It was like, no, we can't stop working.
And we never did that.
We never did that.
We
Yeah.
never all went overseas together.
Never, ever, ever.
And that's crazy. Even all on a local holiday. I
Never.
think, maybe one time to KZN. Like, that was...
But we were adults.
Yeah, we're
doesn't count.
adults. But like,
we had
still,
children.
I mean, so for me,
Someone always
success...
had to be working.
Yeah, someone always had to be working. So for me, success definitely was always financial and was always like academic, I think,
Really?
Yeah, because Dad made it sound like you need to have this degree or this qualification or whatever.
But it's because you were clever.
No, I was never clever. I think I was just hardworking.
You definitely were clever.
No, I think
I don't have that pressure.
Yeah,
They were like, our daughter got a degree. Thank God. Go into the workforce.
I think I was the last hope, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, both my siblings have UCT business degrees, so like,
You were
don't
the
catch
last-
him slipping. But
You were the last hope for like, I think like
what he wanted,
those
the vision.
like master's degree and whatever.
Yeah. So I think that was success. And then also having things. So having a nice car and having a nice house, a nice area. And that was success. And then I think as I got older and as life maybe happened to me a bit more, I've realized that success is having like cliche, but is being just happy and having a healthy family and a happy, healthy relationship with your family.
I know, things
So-
like a blend or like a balance, I want to say. Not really balance. Balance is fleeting, but I mean like a blend of having money but not chasing it to the point where you can't enjoy your life
Yes,
or like
that's-
have time with your kids or be present, because I think I love them for how they raised us, but I think they did miss out on many days with us because they've had to make sacrifices to earn the level of wealth that they got to. And we thankfully don't have to do that because we've have the privilege of growing up, with being able to get degrees and all that kind of like good jobs. So we do get to spend time with our kids. And I think for you and for for myself, we define success as like having like love or like time.
Time.
Yeah.
And for me, so how money then marries that. So then I've kind of like my goals change. So instead of driving a Evoque, because that was the car that I needed to drive and I've always like my dream car, I'm like, actually, I don't need to drive an Evoque. What's it going to do? It's like I'm just going to be in debt spending 15K a month in a car installment like a crazy person. Like, why would I do that?
Yeah.
I'll rather buy a nice car that's in my budget, that's still wonderful, ticks the boxes for my family. We're still going to have happy, lovely memories in it, but I'm not going to be breaking the bank and killing myself every month being in debt for this car. Or I don't need to live in a certain area. I can live in a different area that's more in my price range and more affordable for me and my husband,
Yeah.
So it's moving those benchmarks. And like just things, so that's why I don't really like to buy clothes or shop, because then I was like, you know what, I don't actually have to have new clothes all the
best
time
outfit,
or a best outfit. Like that's not important anymore for me. I have a bag that works and it's great. It's like I don't need 50 of them. So I've changed my needs and wants to what
do they
success
say
is
when
for
you
me.
do that, when you have like loads of stuff, like overconsumption?
Yeah, overconsumption.
So you've reduced that.
Yeah. And that's kind of come into my, like, I'm a little bit of like not an activist, but I have that like in me. So I've always wanted to, be aware of how
much you consume.
how much I consume in terms of the environmental impacts, not only just money-wise as well.
And what do you think you want our kids to understand about money and success that we didn't learn early enough?
Yeah, that's a very hard
Is
question.
that a hard question? Can I go?
Yeah, you can go. I don't
Okay,
know.
so for me, I want our kids to understand that, yes, money opens doors and gives you access, but that money comes, or generating wealth comes with an immense sacrifice, and being able to have the discernment to know that if you want certain levels of wealth, the sacrifice increases. And sometimes that sacrifice could be your own happiness. And it's not always worthwhile. So I would want my kids to know that, like, yes, you can chase money and wealth, and like
It's like a trade-off.
there's a trade-off. You can't have it all. So like my son is very obsessed with like Lamborghinis at the moment. I think
Has
like,
he even seen a Lamborghini?
he's never seen it. Some soccer player drives a Lamborghini and now he's obsessed with it. So I had to explain to him that like Lamborghinis are super expensive and they like a signal of like extreme wealth. And you know, it's not to say that we're all gonna become a professional soccer player for Arsenal and then be able to buy a Lamborghini. Like that's like being realistic, but also being able to dream big, and understanding that the soccer player gives up so much. It's not just like, because people often think, oh, these famous athletes, they just have so much money, but like, what does Cristiano Ronaldo have to give up in order to be where he
The
is?
sacrifice is insane.
Yeah, so I want them to understand that so they can make the choice to chase or to let go easier. Do you know what I mean?
I think I would want my child to I always talk about this because like with the schooling system and like which school to send your child to. I always would want my children, like my biggest prayer for them is that they're always just grateful for what they have, and that they don't think that because they have more, it makes them better.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, you have this nice thing. That's cool that you have it, but that doesn't put you above or below anyone else. And that's what I would always want. And I don't want them to always expect. So it's, if you do well in school, of course, you'll get rewarded with something. Or if you've worked, done your chores, of course, then we can talk about a reward. But don't just expect that because there's a newest toy out that mommy's going to buy
That you're
going
gonna
to
get it, yeah.
Because that's not the way life works.
Okay, then lastly, if generational success codes were in our DNA, what code do you hope that we pass down from our generations of like, you know, our parents and grandparents?
That you too can have generational wealth for the generations to come, being a person of color.
Yeah.
It's not just reserved for, you know, the so white people, that people of color can build and have that generational wealth.
And for me, I think the code that I'd want to send down to my kids is that when you work hard, you can achieve anything. I've learned that from our grandparents, from our parents, and I've displayed that myself, and then I hope to obviously pass that down to my kids. And then to break up all this intensity and heavy talk, I'm really doing therapy with you here.
I know.
Financial therapy. I wanted to do a quick fire fun round of questions. And I want us both to answer them. So what's your most wasted money purchase you ever made?
Ugh, this fitness program. I bought, I was so angry about it. I think I paid like $4,000 and he gave me like the same workout to do every week for
Oh my gosh.
3 months.
Mine's the same.
Angry.
For me, it's also, I joined this like group of women that was trying to, do you remember
That
when I
was like a
joined that
cult.
thing?
It
It
was
was so
weird.
bad. And I had to pay monthly to be a part of the group. And it was so expensive and I lost no weight. I'm so sad. Okay, are you more likely to splurge on food, fashion, or experiences?
More definitely food. I am a
100%.
full-on foodie.
Okay, if money was no object, what was the first thing you'd buy today?
That's really hard. Oh my word. I can't think.
You have to
'cause
choose now, otherwise you're not going to get the thing.
I can't.
Nothing.
I'm
Damn,
stressed.
you lose.
I'm like peeling my skin on my fingers. I'm like, no. I need
If money was no object for me, the first thing I'd buy is 2 plane tickets for us to go to Italy.
That's so cute.
Yeah,
Me
because I
and
want to
you.
eat pasta and go eat
Oh,
tiramisu.
yeah.
My
Aw.
dream. Okay, and then who's more likely to lend money to friends and family?
You, because you know she's silly.
Okay,
And she doesn't vet the people. We must do a credit check. Be like, what's your credit history?
Who's more likely to blow their budget on a holiday?
Oh, obviously you.
Me?
Yes.
Hell no, girl. Oh, wait, I've done it.
Yeah. What do you mean? Obviously.
That one time I went to New York.
I've been on holiday and I can pull up my notes on my phone because I record every expense. I can tell you how much turkey cost me, how much rand it cost me.
It's
'cause
me.
I'm a
I did it in
planner.
New York. I remember now.
I'll be like,
I
bought
was
a
young.
fizzy drink, 10 rand.
I was the youth. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast
Thanks
and
for
sharing
having me.
your money code conversation with us. It was really enlightening. I feel like I got to know you better and also got to reminisce on our childhood, which is nice.
Might cry after this, but
Might just go to therapy after this. But yeah, thanks, B. It was so fun to have you.
Thank you.
Wow, guys, that was intense. It felt like a little therapy session about money. I didn't really realize how much my childhood had impacted my spending habits. And I'm really curious to know what the facts are. So if you guys are keen like I am, you can contact Momentum and get a financial advisor to do a whole assessment on your generational money codes and figure out how you got to spending the way that you spend. And if you guys resonated with myself or B, as you can see, we're really different. Make sure that you get into the comments and let me know who you are. Are you the spender or are you the saver? And don't forget to subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. And then again, find us on Instagram and TikTok. I'll see you guys soon.